Oh,
No,
no,
it's normal.
everything's great right now. Welcome back aboard Blurred Force One with your boy Mo and your girl Polly. And this is the Supercast. The Supercast where we talk about all things superhero in our pop culture media. And that's movies, TV shows, video games. We talk about the news, do some speculation, all of that good nerdy stuff. And before we get into the podcast and the live stream today, you know what to do? Get down there and hit like on the video. So, welcome back, Superhero September. It's coming to a close, and I have to say, if it's got to end, it's going to end with a bang. Obviously, we have a bunch of TV shows going on right now that are all like just peak, and they're going to run into October. But Superhero September made sure that it went out with like some bangers for real. We're going to talk about Marvel Zombies. Obviously, it dropped its episodes on Wednesday. Gen V, Peacemaker, the comic shop, all of that good stuff. And we're going to talk about the news. Before we do that, though, Polly, how you doing? And how you enjoying Superhero September?
Pretty great. I'm doing pretty great. I hated Read from Home, finally, because Fantastic Four came out on digital. Yeah, so I rewatched it.
Nice.
I've been waiting to rewatch it for a while, and I love that movie so much. It's so good. But like, I hate Read, so
I
anyway.
mean,
Uh,
obviously, it's
like,
what day is
yeah.
it? What day is it? A day that
Uh,
ends with the word day? Then it must be a read hating day.
it is. It is. Well, that's how we work in Latvia. Uh, Aside from that, I played some Marvel Rivals. I made it to Silver 2. That was hard. That was difficult.
Oh, I mean, how many reads did you kill to get
Terribly.
there?
Oh, I've been killing reads left and right.
Nice.
Mostly using Sue. That's very satisfying. When you get that nice sweet KO and a little Herbie pops up on the side of your screen, the best feeling ever.
um, do, you-
So yeah,
I,
and
this
I
is
read comics, of
this
course.
is an aside, but is there a team up or a special team up power between Sue and Namor?
Unfortunately, yes. Oh, no, no, not with Namor,
That's
no.
wild.
But
Okay,
she has a team up with the whole Fantastic Four. She gives them shields, a little like extra HP. But she does not have a team up with Namor, and that is very sad because like we desperately need one. And also all her lines addressed to him are kind of like this passive aggressive or actively aggressive. She's like, "Get off me!
yeah.
No, I'm married,"
I
which is
mean,
so not Sue.
I mean to be fair, he does not believe in radical consent. He doesn't believe in that. He's very much a kid. I'll kidnap you and Stockholm syndrome you into marrying me,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is
That's his game. It's not good.
yeah. I hope they don't do that.
He's not successful.
I honestly hope they do not do that in the MCU because it'll play into a bit of a like Latino
Yeah,
stereotype
yeah.
that I don't love. So, but either way, that's cool. And you've been reading comics. We are gonna obviously you're gonna get a chance to talk about that later. Um, my nerdy stuff this week, besides watching everything we had to watch this week for the show, uh, I think I said I finished watching. I'm trying to find a new anime to watch right now. I haven't quite gotten that. I did. I finished Invincible season 3 finally, which is
I've got to get around to watching
wild.
that.
It is so. The last 3 episodes of that season are so wild, and I'm really looking forward to the next season, especially the Invincible War episode. It's crazy. It's really nuts. Very gory. You see a lot of stuff. I think that's I don't know for
A
better
lot
or
of body parts.
yeah, for better or for worse, I think Invincible and The Boys sort of ushered in this ridiculously graphic, gory um, time in superhero media. I don't know if I love it. I like in the moment it's very visceral and like kind of satisfying to watch in some ways. I don't know if I love that. Um, I think I
I've been saying for a while that it kind of gets tiresome because at
yeah.
some point you really want to watch something more wholesome and positive, and you don't need to be graphic to show darkness and to show like Look at what Marvel did with Daredevil.
Yeah,
It was relatively tame. It wasn't
yeah.
too gory, and it worked
But
fine.
I
Still was pretty dark.
I think I mean I get it. The consequence of people with, you know, really ridiculous strength and speed and the frailty, fragility of the human body. I get it. Like I understand it. That doesn't mean I enjoy, like the same way if I were watching, I don't know, a movie with car chases, I wouldn't like to see it how actually a car accident mangles a body. I don't love that. Uh Even though like we do know crazy stuff happens when it comes to the human body and impacts. So but either way, I did that. I also finished watching Abbott Elementary all the way through in preparation for the next season, which is coming up on, I believe, the 3rd of October. Also started rewatching Wednesday on Netflix. Well, my daughter hadn't seen it, so we're gonna work through the 2 seasons over the next few couple months. So that's a fun time. No comics, but you guys have really kind of got me wanting to go back and start actually reading the new Ultimate Universe. So I think that's actually I'm gonna
Finally,
actually get into it beyond like what little I've
didn't
read.
even have to do any
And
nerd
and,
shaming.
and also I somehow I'm gonna get around this too. The Storm book, somebody posted a little frame of her fighting another storm god, and I was like, I should have been reading this from the beginning because the shit looks epic. Like it looks like stupidly epic. I don't know what's going on with Storm, but I like what little I've seen. Like if she's gonna be
I'm gonna talk about this a little,
yeah,
but I'm gonna try to avoid spoilers.
all I can see is that I know that at some point Storm was treated as a goddess in when she was like in East Africa because of her powers, but they said no, she's actually for real is a storm. She's an actual goddess on the level of like this is my understanding. So correct me if I'm wrong. No, she's actually ascended to an actual goddess. Is up there on the level of like what was it, the Phoenix or something like that in terms
Yeah,
of her
yeah, it's
cosmic
exactly.
power,
She's exactly on that level. Yeah,
and like she's not fucking around when people come to Earth and try to, or gods try to come to Earth and do some shit. And I'm like, say less. I didn't even need. All right, I'm in with this because hell yeah, if we're gonna have is she rubbing shoulders with like Bast and shit like that? Because if that's what's up, say less. That's okay. But anyway, that looked really cool. Also, last thing, nerding on a budget. I don't really have the money right now, but I'm doing it anyway. That's it's. I want it all. I want it now. I
that's
had car.
the whole point of nerding on a budget.
Well, even then, like I had car trouble and it cost me a lot of money, but I still bought some stuff. So here it is. My most recent acquisition, and it's actually actually comes with an asterisk. So here it is. Look at this. I got Cersei from the Eternals,
Mhm.
right? Box is a little beat up. I don't love that, but whatever. So that means that I have acquired 6 out of the 10 Eternals. But the asterisk is this: I have been doing the build a figure. This is the first build a figure I have assembled because she was the last one. Look at this guy. Guess who he is? Yes, good old Gilgamesh. So I managed to assemble all of Gilgamesh, which means now I have 7 out of the 10 Eternals. So I still got to get Icarus, Ajax, and Athena. Athena's going to be the hard one because I believe the Athena one is a limited edition one, so it's actually probably out of my price range. But Icarus and Ajax are probably going to be acquired over the next couple months.
That is so annoying, though, that they do the whole line and then they take one figure and make it a limited edition.
Yeah,
Why would you do that?
and it's got to be, of course, Athena, because Athena was really cool in the movie. But I'm glad I got Gilgamesh. The only thing is I don't have a display box for him, so which sucks. Because I like my display boxes. I wish I could figure out how to assemble a display box, because then I would absolutely make one for him. Either way, I got to figure out where to hang them because all of my Eternals, I don't know where to put them right now. I've got y'all don't know this little room I'm in. There's so much overflow of toys and shit right now that I've got to rearrange this room because it's wild. It's y'all don't see it.
Starting to look like a storage.
It looks neat because you're only seeing like 1.5 walls.
The clean
really
wall.
not, yeah, it's really not. Anyway, so that's all of my nerdy stuff for the week. So as usual, that means that it is that time. Wait, obviously we're going to talk about the news. There's a bunch of stuff we're gonna talk about. Polly's comics, her weekly comics, of course. Polly's got issues. We got the the comic shop has a Kickstarter. What's that all about? We got a new villain coming to Spider-Man Brand New Day. I swear, how many? I don't know how many more things they can add to that.
Is he
Yeah,
new?
I mean, yeah. We got a teaser trailer for the Wolverine game. Some news about Marvel Animation's upcoming projects. Then we're going to review the Comic Shop episode 5, Peacemaker episode 6, Gen V episode season 2 episode 4, and Marvel Zombies. Lots of stuff. Oh my gosh. Let's see if we can we can get through this in a reasonable time. I'm predicting not. So
No.
we'll see. So all right. So let's move on to oops, of course. I did. Of course I did it wrong. There we go. Polly has issues. Every week Polly gets her comics, reads them, and she's going to let us know
There's more and more issues.
yeah, she's gonna let us know what it's all about. What or her favorite issues for the week. So, Polly, take it away.
Okay, so of course I keep reading Morning Glories and I'm enjoying it. And I finally figured out this week I read trades 4, 5, and 6, and I'm on the 7th now. There are 10 in general, but I finally figured out what the story is. Let's say most like, because it kind of there is a lot of time travel going on, and it kind of reminds you of the show Dark on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's all very messed up and it's out of order, and it's enjoyable. It's confusing at the same time, and I still don't know what's going on, like the bigger arc, what this all is about. But I'm loving it, and it's one of those things that I don't know. I think we talked about this last week, but how was this never made into a show? That is so weird. Such a great book. Also, I do recommend it. I don't know how it ends yet, so
Badly.
might crush all my beliefs. Then probably badly. Yeah, I'm predicting, because they deal with the characters in a very interesting manner. They keep dying, they keep disappearing, then they show up because of the twisted timeline. It's great. It's a complete mindfuck.
Now, can I say, is Gen V sort of like there's shades of like the kind of a similarity to like the storytelling or at least the conceit?
Yeah, I would say yes, because it's if it were a show, it would have been bloody, just as bloody. But I think it's less political. It's kind of like more focused on the characters and who they are, what they're about, their stories. It's so everyone is directly connected to like the life they lived before. It's very interesting. I definitely do recommend it to everyone because I need people to discuss this.
Right.
It's fun. Then, of course, Storm. Issue 12 came out yesterday, I think. Oh, 2 days ago. It's Wednesday. Well, I told you time and time again, I'm not loving the cosmic stuff. To me, I would have preferred a more Earth-based Storm story, like her relationships, her just where the hell is Craig? I mean, come on. I need to know. She had this guy on Araco. They were kind of together, and then he just disappeared. Where is Craig? I need to know that. But other than that, she's on the level of the Phoenix now, and it's kind of like this massive story, and it's not over yet because just one arc came to a conclusion, but I don't know, too massive for me. But a lot of people like it, and the art is gorgeous. There are like, it has amazing panels, it has amazing phrases, amazing scenes, but just just no amazing story probably. Another thing I read is Ultimate Hawkeye, which is again one of the new characters, specifically written for Ultimate Universe, and it's a great issue. It's exciting. Like Ultimate Hawkeye goes on kind of an adventure on their own, and it reminded me a little bit of the Court of Owls.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, it's a story connected to the Robson Corporation,
Okay.
stuff like that. But I wouldn't go into detail. And it does shed some light on what happened to Clint Barton, which is
What happened?
probably
To,
a question many
to,
ask.
what happened to who now?
To Clint.
Oh, to
because
Clint.
well, in the mainstream universe, he's the
Right.
Hawkeye, and here he's not. And instead, it's
Oh,
Charlie Ramsey.
okay. See, I clearly I've lost the thread of the Ultimates, and I know the Ultimate Universe is like so drastically different. I now I've really got to like dig into
It
this.
is, yeah, it is very different from the mainstream universe. It's very interesting in general, but it's kind of darker.
Right.
I don't know.
No,
It feels
it
darker
would
because
have to be the
it's
genesis
more
of it.
rooted in the realism, like in not in realism, but in the worst possible scenario.
Right.
That's
Well,
what.
yeah. The way it came about, it would have to be the worst possible
Yeah.
dimension. So,
True.
well, it's
True.
not the worst possible
And
dimension, but still.
it does get very political and very relevant.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's I think that's why people love it. The last thing I read was X-Men 22, and it's just well, continues the X-Men story. The Alaskan X-Men kind of has a good wholesome team vibe because they'll come together and they'll
Hmm.
discuss things a lot of talking, which I like. Less action, more talking. I don't know. It's just really, I do really appreciate these things in my comics. But it leads directly into the Age of Revelation, which starts next month, I'm assuming. That's about it. That's all I can say about it.
All right. Well,
I'm really curious about Age of Revelation, though.
yeah. Of course, I don't know anything about what's going on there.
A lot.
Yeah. I'm so behind. Like, I don't think I'll get caught up either. So I think I'm gonna have to get, yeah, not on X-Men, but the Ultimate stuff really like has got me
Yeah.
intrigued. And it's a short enough run of comics that I won't be like, oh my god, how long is it gonna, like, I feel like
Too much. Too much.
the Ultimate X-Men one is like equal to Dawn of X. Not Ultimate X, the Ultimate Universe is equal to Dawn of X in the terms of the number of titles. So
I think it's less, but I could
yeah,
be
I
wrong.
can deal
I
with
don't know.
that
I
though.
just stopped reading Ultimate X-Men at some point, and I haven't caught up yet. But maybe I will. I don't know. But the rest of the books, like Ultimate Black Panther, the Ultimates, and Spider-Man,
Right.
and Ultimate Wolverine, those are definitely worth reading,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Well, you guys, I don't know how you guys are feeling about Marvel Comics right now, but definitely go out there and check out what Polly's talking about, or chime in and let us know what your favorite comics of the week are, and we'll chop it up. So, uh, let's talk about something really cool, which is how you too can support your your local indie comic, or in this case, indie TV producer. That, of course, is Cheyenne Ewulu, who is currently, the comic shop is currently going on her YouTube channel, Aqua Virgo TV. It was the result of a successful Kickstarter that got the funding so that they could do that. It's a cool show. We're going to talk about the 5th episode later on in this stream. But also now there's another Kickstarter for a comic book tie-in, and they are it's going to basically be a 50-page anthology with a bunch of little stories in there. Some of them by Cheyenne herself. And other comic creators like Stephanie Williams, who I think what did she do? Nubia? Am I wrong about that? Did she write Nubia?
I think so. Yeah, I think she did.
But she's also writing some other thing. I think she wrote even a story maybe for the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I think she may have written, but I know for sure she wrote a comic book called. She did a comic tie-in, a graphic novel tie-in for the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur TV show, which was really cool. So, but there are other creators and everything like that. I just wanted to shout that out, and I, just wanted to give them a plug because I think it's worth contributing to. What say you about this new Kickstarter?
What can I say? It looks exciting, and I love that. Like, what else would you expect from a show about a comic book store?
Exactly. Well, the thing is to understand.
Definitely a comic book.
Well, I think the thing is to understand that the comic shop, Stephanie, the character, is basically Cheyenne's stand-in. And one of Stephanie's things is she wants to run a comic shop, but also she wants to publish her own comic book. Here we go. We're helping Cheyenne live her dream, and I'm not mad about that. So you guys go on Kickstarter, check out the whole campaign, pick your level of whatever level you want to support at, and I suggest you go on to Threads, tag Cheyenne, and let her know what level you're at, and kind of brag about it. That's what? Show your nerd cred. Also, if you're a black nerd, go out there and support your fellow blurs. We gotta push each other up. We gotta prop each other up. We gotta help each other out. Because in this day and age, I'm gonna be real. You look what's going on in media, the big media companies. They're trying to freeze us out. They're trying to shut the doors and keep us out. But just because they are, it doesn't mean we can't go through other channels. Like literally go through other channels. We don't fucking need Disney and WB and Paramount to get out great content like the comic shop. So we are going to support this channel, this show stands the comic shop. So whatever they're doing, we're going to definitely make sure that we promote it. So next week, y'all going to hear the same damn thing. Until this Kickstarter is fully funded, we will be standing them and letting y'all know what's up. So stay tuned. And I can't wait to let y'all know about the good news about this comic. Definitely going to be coming to fruition. They're trying to get it to 40,000 to get this fully funded. I believe they're close to halfway through. Hasn't even been a week yet. So let's make it happen. Let's run these numbers up. Let's get it. So shout out to everybody over there that's doing that. And we're going to keep an eye on this going forward. Let's talk about I was just kind of crapping on the big media companies, but you know what? Look,
let's talk about them.
Let's talk about the big media comic companies. Spider-Man Brand New Day is trying to have as many. I think it's trying to have as many main characters in it as the Eternals did. Because goddamn, they keep. I swear they keep. That's gonna be a hard call, but
that's starting to sound like Sony.
Yeah,
very much like Sony, and I don't like it.
They're stacking.
Also, didn't Tom Holland say that he was online looking at what people want? Where did people want this?
I think
let's get all the characters in there.
Well, you know what? I'm not mad about this one though.
I don't know what kind of internet he has.
I wish he would stop listening to us, but if this was the result of him listening to us, I will allow it on this one. Marvin Jones III has officially joined Brand New Day, and he's going to be playing the role of Tombstone, and I didn't realize this, but he actually voiced Tombstone in Into the Spider-Verse years ago, back in 2018, which is dope. Good for him.
I went ahead and I checked, and I haven't seen him in anything else, but like I know what he looks like now.
Now I will say I've seen him in at least one thing, because I was one of the few people that was supporting the Halo TV show on Paramount Plus.
Based on the game?
Based on the game. He's in the second season. He actually plays a he used to be a what do they call the Spartan. He was a Spartan that was injured basically and was blinded, but he's like basically a support. He does support for other Spartans. But also he was apparently in Black Lightning as a villain. But I love this. Look, first of all, there's two reasons. One, Tombstone's a dope ass character from the comics, and as a character that goes back like decades, an underworld figure that keeps coming back up because he's just such a cool character. The other reason is more black representation. Love that. Love to see it. Also because I think Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man really kind of bigged him up. Seeing Lonnie Link, of course, he's a different version. In this rendition, he's going to be an older character, obviously, but in that one, he's a contemporary of Peter Parker. I think Tombstone's on the radar right now. People are, and even the video games, like the Spider-Man video games, are really putting him on. Like people know who this is. This makes all the sense in the world to me, and I can't wait to see it.
How many villains do we have now? Confirmed.
Is it I know Scorpion for sure. I forget
Scorpion, yeah.
I forget the other ones that were confirmed.
And also there's like a bunch of heroes.
Yeah, we got Hulk is showing up, Punisher showing up. I think that this is an indication that this really is more of a street level deal. Yeah, having Hulk in it does sort of like seem to change the equation a bit.
I mean, we don't know whether he's going to be the Hulk or Bruce Banner. Or is he going to be
Bruce Banner? I mean, the last few times we've seen in the MCU, he's been Bruce Banner, not Hulk. So who knows where that all is going? But I think people need to remember, in the comics, Peter Parker has, faced off against Hulk, actual Hulk, not Bruce Banner, actual Hulk. Now, he's never won. He's never won. I'm not saying that he's won. I'm saying that he has traded.
He tried.
He's traded blows with and stopped Hulk in the sense of stopping him from like going off. So that's not out of the realm of possibility. Just like I think there's a genuine concern about kind of like the scope of this movie when you throw the Hulk in there. But I also like that Lonnie Lincoln, aka Tombstone, being in there gives you a better indication that maybe this is going to be, we're going to bring the level down so that we don't have to.
And again,
we don't have to bring in Captain
we don't know
Marvel.
yet whether he's. We don't know yet whether he's going to be Tombstone or like just pre-transformation Tombstone.
I hope it's Tombstone. I don't need any fucking like origin stories. I don't need any fucking origin story. He's just here. I don't need to see it. I don't need to see how Sandman got his Sandman power. I don't need to see how Electro got his power. I don't need to see any of that. They can just exist.
You're still gonna.
They could just exist. Some shit happened to them. I don't need any more information about that. Like,
nobody cares if they rob in a bank. Nobody cares how they got their powers.
Hey, let's take 10 minutes to do a side quest real quick in this movie that needs to fucking get to the end in a reasonable time. Let's do that. No, he has electrical powers. You don't need it. You know what? Stan and Jack could tell you. Oh, remember? You've read the old Stan and Jack one. You read through the Fantastic Four. In like the first 50 issues, damn near 50 fucking villains are introduced. I'm not saying it's actually 50, but it's damn
nobody
near,
has an origin story.
If the origin is
most of them don't.
It's 3 panels. Oh, he was in a lab. Some shit happened. Now he's got powers. You don't need to know anything else about them. That's like,
I think my favorite one is Zima's origin story when he had like a sock glued to his head.
Yeah. Did you have you read like Doctor Octopus's his origin?
Uh,
It takes like all of 5 panels. It like 5 panels. You know everything you need to know. Let's get on with it, right? Like let's.
some villains didn't even get origin
Yeah, he's
stories, I
just
think.
here. Like that's the. I don't need.
Like Doom just showed up and then they
Oh my
started
god.
like
Yeah,
wondering who
I'm a.
he is.
He's like I'm a Doom. He's a Doom. We're all Dooms.
I'm Doctor Doom.
Yeah, it's
I
like
hate Reed Richards.
the thing.
Nobody needs the answer to why he hates Reed Richards. We just do understand
Yeah,
him.
it's. Yeah, we can fill that in later. We don't
We
need to know
sense
that right now.
that kinship.
I feel like, and I don't want to blame anybody, but if I'm gonna blame anybody for this whole thing, it's gonna be Joe Quesada. And you're gonna be like, Mo, why are you blaming Joe Quesada? He was the editor in chief of Marvel, and by the way, a very successful one. I'm not mad at him about this, but his tenure brought a lot of stretching stories out, like really stretching stories out, like for real, so that somebody said that the amount of time it took to tell, I think it was, I was listening to a podcast, and I want to say this was Grant Morrison said that the Ultimate Universe took Bendis took 6 issues to do what Stan did in like one issue. Like even like an Amazing Fantasy, his origin of Spider-Man was like 13 pages, and it took Bendis 6 issues. And I'm like, that's so real though. Like he does not know how, like, modern comic book
Honestly,
writing.
don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's just
I do
like,
prefer stretched out stories because they have enough space to like tell a story and
yeah.
to introduce the characters, to give some background. I do appreciate that because these old villains, they were pretty flat.
Yeah.
And they showed up for one issue, they got defeated, they disappeared, nobody knew, and then they showed up again and disappeared after one issue.
I get that, and later on they flesh out their story and everything like that. But it makes sense to me because from the perspective of Spider-Man, that's literally, he don't know anything about them. They showed up, they started doing some stuff. He got to go punch them and web them up, and then they got some weird powers, and then that's it. He doesn't have time. Like he's if you look at it in that way, those issues make all the sense in the world. From his perspective, these guys just came out of nowhere. They got some powers. He doesn't have any explanation. He's just got to beat them up. And later on, we can find out their nuances, I guess. But in terms of like the movies and TV shows, yeah, we ain't got time for this. They just here. Like, we can't have a dissertation about why Tombstone is who he is. The movies don't got that time. So I hope, anyway.
We could put some infographics.
Yeah. Jonathan Hickman, your time has arrived.
No, Jonathan Hickman.
Your time has arrived. Anyway, we've kind of stressed that out a lot. We're gonna move on to the next thing, which is the long-awaited, or I guess for me, long-awaited trailer for the Insomniac Wolverine game. Dropped a PlayStation. I guess they had some kind of event. I don't know. This showed up on my social media feed. I said, say less, because I wanted to see what's going on with this. And I think this is a PlayStation 5 exclusive, actually. It's been in the work for years.
I checked.
This has been in the work for years. Well, eventually it will show up on PC, truthfully. But this has been in the work for years.
Like Spider-Man did.
Yeah. This has been delayed. I want to say, is this 4 or 5 years in the making? I can't remember, but
I can't tell you for sure because I haven't been following this game. I didn't even know about its existence, or maybe I heard about this, but it was like so long ago that I forgot.
It was announced at the same time as there was an Iron Man
kind of like Captain America.
Yeah, I think this was an Iron Man game also announced at the same time that they have since canned. But this one is definitely coming to fruition. They showed, I want to say 2 years ago, 1 or 2 years ago, they showed like a little, kind of just a cutscene that to sort of introduce it.
Mhm.
So I've been like, what is this game going to be? So now we got some, early footage of gameplay. We got some confirmation of some characters. Like there's going to be Sentinels getting wrecked. Hey,
For one
correct.
Sentinel.
Well, I mean, one less Sentinel in the world is a good world, right? But also we see Wolverine murdering the shit out of. I mean, just killing people, right? Uh, with the classic.
He's the best there
Well,
is at what
well,
he does.
they do the classic thing where he sticks somebody in up underneath their chin with his
Mm.
so that thing happened. And then we get Mystique and Omega Red. Again, I don't know how much of this is. Some of it's game footage, some of it is obviously cutscenes or whatever like that. It looks really cool. Um, it looks like hopefully a game that's less Marvel's The Avengers and more, the whole Dark Knight series from Rocksteady.
You know, the Avengers were not that bad. The
I
game
mean,
is not that bad. It has a good story. It's just a little bit
the gameplay is
messed up
repetitive.
with the
Yeah,
kind of a
but
pain.
I wonder.
The story is good though.
It's I think it looks good. Look, it looks good. Am I gonna go buy a PlayStation 5 for this? Fuck no, I'm not gonna buy a PlayStation 5 for this. I will wait for this to hit PC. But it looks really cool. Also, remember this is Sony. They're doing a good job with their Marvel license. They got the Spider, and by the way, they confirmed this is taking place in the same universe as the Sony Spider-Man games. So they are, I'm not saying there's going to be a crossover, but that this is absolutely a shared universe.
He better show up.
This is very cool. How did you feel about this trailer?
Well, first of all, I haven't played Spider-Man games yet, and I'm still waiting for them to be on sale, like properly on sale. Not it's like we're dropping the price from $60 to like 49. I'm doing that now. I'm waiting for like give it to me for $15. I might consider it. But yeah, I watched the trailer and it looks bloody. It looks very bloody, like too bloody, I'd say. Why is there? I understand that like Wolverine, nice for hands, all the cussing, sneaked and whatnot, but it does look interesting. I would probably expect and want more X-Men to show up because like Wolverine is my least favorite X-Men.
What?
I want to see Storm. I want to see like Jean. He needs to be obsessing about someone, stuff like that. But it looks exciting enough. If it has a good story, I might give it a chance. Years later when it's available on PC and
Exactly.
and on discount on Steam. Maybe like summer Steam sale, like 2020, 8, 9, 10. I mean, 2030 maybe, yeah. But yeah, it looks cool. It looks awesome. I was excited to see Mystique.
Yeah, it's real. Did you
again? Wolverine, not my favorite X-Man. I'd take anyone else. Can I play as Mystique? It does look like you can play as Mystique.
I do think it looks like you are going to be able to switch characters, which I'm 110% down with that. I'm curious because there seems to be a lot of thought put into these games. So obviously her play mechanics are going to be different. Like how does she translate it? And like what does her shapeshifting give her? What does it do for her? Very interested in that. I did notice. Look, because I curate my my social media so well, I don't get to see shit like this. But other people are less discerning, or maybe they just wade in the stupidest waters. But apparently, there are some people that are mad about Mystique's design, which is like, I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with her design? Nothing wrong with her design. There's something wrong with people who get uptight about whether or not a character's hot enough. It's fucking weird. You like what the fuck? I don't understand what they want.
They probably don't know the character of Mystique very well.
They don't care about they just remembering that Rebecca Romaine was in blue makeup, and then it was what's her name? I hate that I can't say her name from the Hunger
Jennifer
Games. Jennifer
Lawrence.
Lawrence was, then it was Jennifer Lawrence, and they just, I mean, like, just like there's porn of that. If it's that the big a deal, go do that. This is not for you to fucking, you know, masturbate to. It's a fucking game. You weirdos. Like, people are so uh, like I look,
Oh.
I get it, but why are you playing a video game trying to be titillated? That's weird. This isn't Leisure
And
Suit
then
It's not
just
Leisure Suit
if
Larry.
you do need like really conventionally attractive hot characters, go play Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, I mean,
Like everybody has a swimsuit there.
it's what's that called? The Gooner game
It's
now.
a little weird.
Yeah, but it's God,
The what game?
a Gooner game. That's the
Oh,
Gen
yeah,
Z
yeah.
slang for
It it's a bit of that.
yeah,
I
just
wouldn't argue with that.
the weirdos. Anyway,
A good game though.
that's the only thing I've seen negative. But otherwise, people seem to think this is cool. I agree. I will not be playing this when it drops because I'm not gonna get a PlayStation 5. I have no reason for me to drop $500 for this one game.
You know, if I get a PlayStation 5, I wouldn't have any money left for the game,
Yeah, I mean, no thanks. But
and vice versa.
I will be happy to watch other people play this and tell me how they feel about it. So anyway, you guys keep an eye out on this. I think it's coming out next year actually, so it's very close, and we'll see how it does next year. Let's talk about Marvel Animation, which, by the way, I think has been like on a fucking great win streak. In fact, Marvel TV in general, to me, has been killing the game. And people, you know, I'm so tired of people like Marvel is so back. Marvel's so back. It's never left, people. I mean, yeah, they kind of did some bullshit with Secret Invasion, but beyond that, beyond Secret Invasion, I don't think they've missed. Yeah, the only thing they've missed at, in my opinion, is not backing and not showing full faith and confidence in the things they do. They just, you know, dropping shit unceremoniously or
Drop and run.
with like what feels like contractually obligated promotion. Like, and when you know what I mean? Like, by contract they have to do X amount of, but they won't go above and beyond. So they do that shit for Eyes of Wakanda and for fucking Ironheart, you know, and I feel like certain Wonder Man is going to get the same fucking treatment. I wonder why.
So I think it's coming out this year.
Yeah, it's coming out in December.
I haven't heard shit about it.
I think we've gotten a little bit of footage, but not much. And it hasn't been by itself. It's been a part of other marketing. But like, you know, we need Sherlock Holmes to get on the case of why Marvel TV
there is somebody working at Marvel, and their job is literally to do the bare minimum.
Yeah, it's.
How did you get that job?
It's I'm gonna say DEI, and I don't mean it. I'm gonna say they're a DEI hire, but there's some guy named, you know, Wyatt that's just there because their dad was vice president or something or whether at Disney.
They're like, Dad, I can run social media.
It's like, sure, just get out of my, just go do something.
Sure, Wyatt.
Do it. It's like you barely graduated, you know, from the college that I, you know, that I was able to send you to.
What?
I bought your way into it, but Wyatt.
I just bought the college.
Wyatt's like, no one wants.
You're that stupid.
Wyatt's like, nobody wants to watch this woke stuff. I'm just gonna, you know, he's like, but either way, that they look. I'm giving them shit. Marvel TV's been doing really well, in my opinion. So
no, that's true.
So, and their animation, I think, has been doing better than the TV. You know, argue with me if you want to. I think Marvel Animation has put out better things than the live action TV. That I just think it's true. X-Men 97 and Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, I think, are better than the new Daredevil, Born Again. You don't have to agree with me. I think it's true. X-Men 97 by far. I think X-Men 97 might be the
Well,
best.
I'd say X-Men 97 is so far like the best
I think
thing that came
yeah.
out of Marvel television. But I'm very biased because I do love X-Men, and X-Men 97 is just amazing.
I
It's
think
like
yeah.
the peak X-Men.
I think X-Men 97 is the best thing that Marvel TV has done since, I don't know, mate. Well, is it better than Agatha? Yeah, yeah, it's better than It's better than Agatha all
Yeah,
along. I think it's better than WandaVision. I think it's better. Yeah. So yeah,
yeah.
no, I'll cop to that. Yeah, it's the best thing they've done since they took over TV at Marvel Studios. Um. So anyway, to get around to the point of this whole bit is that Brad Winderbaum was talking about the future of their animation, and apparently we're getting X-Men 97 and Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man yearly. They're gonna do annual drops, and I'm like, about fucking time. I was wondering when y'all was gonna act like an actual TV studio. You know, look, I'm annoyed as fuck that y'all don't want to do but 8 episodes or something. That's stupid. They're 20-minute episodes. I'm already annoyed at that. But then y'all make us wait 2 years. Meanwhile, over at fucking Warner Brothers TV, they're putting out 20 episodes of Abbott Elementary every fucking year. Every year. Right? They're like clockwork. You telling me Warner Brothers TV knows shit that y'all don't know how to do? That's wild to me. The thing is, the animation isn't even prestige TV. I could see if you're like, well, Wednesday season 2, that's prestige TV. Oh, Peacemaker, that's prestige TV. So I get it. Okay, cool. That's prestige TV. This is not what that is. As much as I love X-Men 97, no one considers it prestige TV. It's animation. You should be like their problem, in my opinion, has been treating it like it's a fucking movie. And movies take 2 to 3 years to get from start to finish. Instead of treating it like they should be, which is every year you put some stuff out. So you've already got shit in the pipeline before the first season comes out. You're at season 2, season 3. So, you're already you're way down the line, which means you have to invest in the idea from the beginning and know you're going to give it at least a couple, 2, 3 seasons to get going. And they haven't been doing that. They've been treating it like a fucking movie, and it has burned my, what's the expression? It has chapped my hide that I have to fucking sit here and wait and sit there, and they're like, let's look at the returns to decide whether or not we're gonna make this 2 year process of getting a season going. What am I gonna be 55 before y'all finish whatever story y'all doing with X-Men 97 or Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? Get out of here. There's no reason for that. Anyway, I've ran it. How do you feel about this?
First of all, I'm a little bit worried because we still don't know what we're getting with X-Men 97 season 2. And I do understand, like, did we get Spider-Man this year?
We got Spider-Man earlier this year. It was in
Yeah.
March.
So that makes sense that if we're gonna get season 2 next year, it makes sense. But if we're gonna, like, the fact that we had this big gap between season 1 of X-Men 97 and season 2, it's obviously they had reasons, and obviously we all know what these reasons are. So they needed to figure out the way where the story is gonna go, how it's gonna go, what are they gonna do? Because obviously, we all know that Birdemiah had a lot of control, like creative control over the story, and the ideas. Well, it shows the ideas were his. So where it's gonna go, we don't know. And let's not celebrate before we actually get season 2 and watch season 2. Because I'm confident that Spider-Man season 2 is going to be just fine, but I'm worried about that.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about X-Men 97 season 2 is that Bo DeMaio does have some writing credits on it, in the sense that he mapped it out and had started work on it. So like he has actual work. He's not going to get the credits in the show because of his foolishness. That's something else. But actually, creatively, he actually did have stuff to do with it. Another thing to consider about X-Men 97 is the new showrunner was a showrunner on What If, and for better or for worse, for those of you that don't like What If, I happen to like What If quite a bit, so I'm happy about it. But I think that
I mean, there is. I don't know whether you can like take what he's done with What If and apply it to X-Men. It's way too different. Way too different. The structure is different. The shows are different. The narrative style is different. I mean, I would appreciate it would have made me happy if everything like the creative team stayed the same with the X-Men because season 1 was just perfect. The only problem that could have been is like it was short, yeah. Could have been longer, but other than that, it was perfect. It's every time I watch it, it's like the first time. It's excitement. I love it. I absolutely love it. But again, we don't know what we're gonna get.
yeah.
It might be good, but would it be breathtaking? Would it be that awesome? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think
It requires like really the skill to speak, to say the things that need to be said.
Yeah. Well, I think it remains
That's
to
what
be,
season
be
one
said.
did.
I don't think I have enough info about this guy to really. I mean, how many boundaries is he really going to push? We don't know yet, but I'm going to remain optimistic. I will also, one last thing about this item. He did also mention that there is a possibility of more seasons of Marvel Zombies, but he said the thing that I hate, and I already ranted about it earlier. I'm not going to rant more. If the ratings are good, so y'all, first of all, how? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say this for the review, but fuck that. Like, go all in or don't. Like pick a fucking side of the fence. Either you in or you're not. Like, that's all I gotta say. But anyway, I don't want to rant anymore because I'm gonna be like anger and what's the name? Inside Out. I'm just gonna be like anger. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on this. We'll let you guys know more about it in the future. So it is review time. We're gonna review the Comic Shop episode 5. It was the comic drop, and look, this show is rolling along quite nicely. So nicely, in fact, that I'm sort of annoyed at there being only 15-minute episodes. Like, I'm starting to be I'm like, come on, I need 5 more minutes. Give me 5 more minutes. This is like, that's how cool this has been. This is an episode where we feature Keith. Keith is and his friend, what's his name, Kyle, who is apparently like an influencer, like, and he does like a prank channel or whatever. And he's like, let's bring him in so it'll bring some business in, because the comic shop's always trying to drum up business. That rent won't pay itself. But it turns into something unfortunate when his friend decides to make a prank challenge for his viewers where they go into a comic shop and drop the comics on the ground and run out because he said comic shops are super lame and everything. And so this really I love this episode because, yes, it's funny. It's very funny. And I forgot the B plot, which was as a part of trying to get more people in. Connor and Dominique are like, we're gonna be like influencers, like we're gonna get our social media up so that people will come in, like, and everything. And so it turned into a real bring it on situation where Connor Connor does the spirit fingers thing, and Dominique is just like finding out how hard it is to be viral. And I love that that little bit. But once again, Connor being the Everett Ross of the the series.
He's always gonna be the Everett Ross.
He's Everett
At
Ross.
this point, we just accept it.
Yeah, Dominique's still my favorite character in the show. So she took a backseat in this, but there was just enough to get her to kind of to be who she is. she's the bouncy joy of the show, and I really appreciate that. But mostly, I enjoy Keith kind of like calling his friend out for his foolishness.
Hmm.
Nerd shaming is real, and I, as someone who has nerd shamed someone uh, on this show, I nerd shame for the good, not for the way Kyle was about it. I nerd shame to get people to watch great things, not to hide
Well,
who
that's true.
hide who they are. And this is like I'm not look. There are many issues in our world that are pressing. This is not one of them. But in our community, this bullshit about, especially among black nerds, this bullshit about hiding being a comics nerd. This look is real. I literally stopped reading comic books when I was a teenager because of it. So it's like, and
But
you,
then back then it was like a bigger thing. It was definitely a thing because everybody got
yeah,
shamed for being into nerd stuff and
this was in
stuff
the
like that.
90s, right? But supposedly nerds have
Yeah.
taken over the world, right? Look, the MCU's big, DC's big. People like video games, anime, blah 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 blah. And yet it's still a thing. And I like that they kind of pointed that out, and and also they kind of shine a light on influencer, you know, life. There's a problem, I think, with influencers in general, is because it's a money thing. Look, it's a job. I get it. Being an influencer is a job, but that also means that you're the difference between an influencer and like a celebrity pushing a product, because that's a lot of what how you make money as an influencer or a YouTube channel or whatever. So you end up getting like, it's not ad revenue from YouTube, it's sponsorships, right? So then you got to hawk products that you may not necessarily care about or know about or whatever. And there's a lot of that. And the thing is that once it becomes a business, how genuine are you? Because your whole audience is about you being genuinely who you are and people liking that person that you are. But once you be like, let's take a moment to talk about, better help or whatever. Now it's you're trading in your genuine self to peddle these wares, and then at some point, when do you stop being you and instead you're the commercial product? And how can
It
we
depends. It
how can we know the
depends.
difference? So anyway, I've talked a lot. I thought that was a great episode. So what did you think about it?
It was definitely great. Yeah, I also kind of got annoyed with the friend because, like, who does that? I mean, it's not even about the business. It's just why would you do something like that, especially being a nerd and all.
Yeah,
But the ending was so adorable now
I I
when the kid came in and
the resolution is like there. I feel like this was written from the heart, like from experience,
yeah,
from the
from
heart,
experience.
and maybe that's not what has really happened. But because a lot of these influencers actually do have the money like this. There's like some of these bigger channels, they really do have the money like this, like where they could go in, right, cash out 5 grand to the comic, store, and have people just come in and get free books or whatever. They could do that, and I like that was
They
his.
don't,
Yeah,
but they should.
I like that was his. Hey, my bad. Let me make it up to you moment, and that all the conflict in this show so far has never been friendship ending. It has not been like end of the world. It has been, you're right, you called me out, I'm gonna own it and I'm gonna make up for it. Like every time we've seen it, I enjoy that that's what's going on, because it doesn't have to be high
Except
stakes.
that comic book stealer.
Well, I mean, she went to jail, so and I like that and this is black nerds talking to each other sort of situation, but I think other nerds of across the spectrum can really feel this too, about like, for the world to see us as cool, maybe we have to like compromise the things we love. Maybe we have to hide what we are, what we love, what we value. And Keith just being like, no, you don't have to do that. And, if the people don't like that about you, then you're not losing anything. You're gaining, you know, authenticity by just saying this is who I am. And I love that he was just like, yeah, I'm keeping it real. I love comics. Comics are dope. Go support a comic shop, and using his influence for good. So it's a good message. One that I feel like a lot of influencers won't take, because some of them are genuinely terrible and they just care about their own bottom line. So whatever. Good episode. I really quite enjoyed it. Next week is the season finale. I'm sad about that.
Too damn sure though.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sad, but we're gonna we're gonna check it out. Join us next week for that. Let's talk about Peacemaker episode 6. I would have placed this further down in the queue if I had realized how monumental this episode was going to be, and I should have known. I don't know what I was thinking about, but I put it next, so it's fine. It's fine. Episode 6 was entitled "Ignorance is Chris," and boy, is that like a triple entendre. Good. Hey, that, like, Jennifer Holland said she came up with the title for this episode, and kudos. By the way, I'm going to be giving Jennifer Holland a ton of flowers in this review. She deserves it. This episode, she was amazing. I think James Gunn said some of the best acting he's ever seen between two people in a scene was in this episode, and I know what he's talking about. Fuck yeah. Ignorance is Chris is great. This is probably my favorite episode of the series so far, of this season so far. And it's lived up to the hype that James Gunn set up for it. He said the 6 through 8 were crazy. Lived up to the hype. I don't know how you felt about this. The moment they were like, we're going to the other dimension, let's set it up and go, I was like, don't. I said, Adebayo, please, just sit this one out. Just sit this one out. There's no way this works out properly. But I blame Chris for basically being like tunnel vision about this particular reality.
That is very, very telling.
Yeah, and I'm gonna defend him a little bit about it. But when we get into spoilers, I'll defend him. But he was very blinkered viewpoint, out of upbringing, out of his position in society, and out of emotional damage, being hurt.
Out of specifically his position in that society.
Yeah, but all those things worked out to him missing the most fucking obvious thing possible. That was so obvious that it was so fucking obvious that I saw it immediately when he first stepped in there. And I feel like James Gunn was straight up saying it without saying he was saying it. So, and a lot of people clocked it, and it turned out to be true. Yes, this is the worst universe, at least if you're not white. Even if you're white, it seems like it's not a great universe either. Because one thing they haven't said, I
don't know, seems like those people had fun chasing.
Well, look, I think if you look at that universe, it's actually terrible for everybody. It's just really bad for people of color. But you notice, because one of the things that not Chris, what's the brother's name? But either way, the brother was like, I've never seen you wear pants. It's like, I've never seen you wear pants. Yeah, of course you haven't seen her wear pants because of the traditional culture that they have.
Traditional values.
Yeah, and there was so many indications of what was going on. That being said, there's so many good things going on here. Adrian getting to meet his other self and how same they are. The little hints at this being the Nazi, the Nazi dimension, they're all over the place. There's little things that are said where you're like, oh yeah. But I love that Harcourt clocked it immediately. Like it took her no time. and it really puts in
She's like,
contrast.
did you notice
Yeah,
anything
it puts
weird?
in contrast how fucking blinkered Chris is in this because he's getting everything he wants, he thinks he wants. And then also, I was in dread for Adebayo the whole episode.
Yeah.
I got more to say, but how do you feel about this episode?
I mean,
Oh, I'm
my
sorry.
favorite one.
Real quick
Mhm.
before you say something, I do want to shout out the Fall of the 11th. Thanks for joining in the chat, and I'm going to read these real quick. He says, "Poor ads just wanting to go for a damn walk." Plus, I'm a bit surprised we've not seen alternate universe Economos or Rick Flag Senior, which makes me think maybe Flag Senior was in the Suicide Squad instead. And curious to see if they'll show us Overman, the Earth X, which is the KKK dimension, the Nazi dimension, Superman. Oh, and the Fall of the 11th also says the brother is called Keith, aka Captain Triumph.
Oh,
So
yeah, Keith.
thank you.
Right.
I don't know why I keep blanking on old boy's name.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say that obviously, yeah, all the things that you said, true. Kind of like I think that the previous episode is still my favorite because it was well, I knew what to expect from this one. It wasn't a shocker.
Mhm.
If you knew right away. Obviously, it has a ton of awesome moments, like everybody just finding out what this world is and stuff like that. Higgly. I don't know why he makes me laugh every time. It's just so ridiculous. I love it. And yeah, Economos, by the way, meeting what's his face, the
Yeah.
father.
Augie.
Yeah, and yeah, Vigilante meeting his other self, another one of my favorite moments because again, they're very similar. They practically identical except for the best friend or like arch enemy thing, which is I think really kind of a good way to show what kind of person he is and what his values are, despite them being a little bit twisted, but still.
Oh, I got so much to say about Adrian.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think I wrote it on Threads that it was like he's full of no surprises at all because everything that we encountered, like in his basement where he keeps his superhero stuff, like
Not
the
just
Beanie
superhero
Babies.
stuff.
It's all
He keeps all of the drug money and the drugs and everything, but he doesn't do
yeah,
anything with it.
yeah.
It makes all the sense in the world if you understand. Like they don't say he's on this. I don't think they say explicitly he's on the spectrum, but if you think about everything about him, like the reason why he is the way he is because his rules about the world, he won't violate them. So of course he doesn't spend drug money. He thinks it's wrong. Why? It's wrong if he spends it. It's wrong if the people he killed to get it spend it. So he's just keeping it away from anything. It makes sense. Love that. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and obviously the contrast between Harcourt and like the DCU and the other
Can I say
Earth-X,
not Nazi
I'm
hardcore?
guessing.
Can we say Nazi hardcore?
Yes, yes. I love that the contrast is so obvious, and it's also like it's very fun to watch the characters try to fit in and try to like act like everything is normal, because it's obviously not.
Yeah.
Your whole bit with the snow globe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we talked.
And she can. It's hilarious how she can't help it, but she just slides back into her own persona.
Well, the beauty
Yeah.
of that is that because it's the DCU, you can't really count out that the ghost you would actually talk to a ghost. You can't count it out.
Yeah.
There's just too much. There's too many indication that shit like that is real.
It's absolutely straight face.
Yeah, he's like, oh, okay. Like you say, you talked to the
Yes,
ghost
she's
of
a
my
ghost.
mom. Okay, the world we
Yeah.
live in, why the fuck not?
And also, I was really genuinely surprised at the cameo. Lex Luthor cameo.
That was a great cameo.
Because I don't know if it was unexpected.
Yeah.
it made all the sense in the world, but it wasn't expected. But then again, it did make you feel like it really is that comic book world, that same world that everything else is happening in.
They got
That was awesome.
they got big money over at DC. They got Nicholas Hoult for a scene.
Oh yeah.
Let's go. Fall of the 11th.
Unless he like owes them or something.
The Fall of the 11th says, so I have a feeling that we are in some way going to try and bring back Rick Flag Jr. to our universe. Since what we've seen from him, he seems much more soft and relaxed and clumsy compared to everyone else. Which maybe, I hope not. But also, someone has theorized that part of his character is that he's actually working with the Sons of Liberty. Maybe. Regarding Adrian, he says Fall 11 says, I think they said that he has ADHD. All I know is he's very focused on, like, he's hard time with understanding other people's emotion, very focused on his rules about the world, right? Very focused where he doesn't violate them. All of the things make sense when you understand the way he thinks. Everything he says makes sense, right? The reason why he doesn't have a problem with killing bad guys is because in his world, certain things, you die. But he doesn't want, but he's also set up rules that say, I won't kill prostitutes because they're just working hard. It's the Johns that are the problem. They're the ones that committing the crime. And he doesn't use blood money because it's wrong. It all makes
and obviously sense. It all very well translates to the fact that in this his version in the Nazi world is still not an Nazi.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Adrian Chase, is that if his other self is so much like him that you also understand why he hates Peacemaker. You also understand, like, it takes very little to understand why he would be a member of the Sons of Liberty. I suspect part of it is just that Chris in that world shit on him, really made him feel lesser than, but also he's rational enough to be like, this racism shit don't make no sense. Like, none of it makes sense. This whole world has been subverted by people who are, racism doesn't make any fucking sense. And like, I don't live like that. I'm not. So he's living his whole life as vigilante, raging against the machine because it opposes his personal rules about life. And his rules about life are the same as the one we know. And we know for sure that Adrian Chase in the mainline universe is anti-racist. See also the scene where he beat the fuck out of those people in jail.
I love that scene.
So it's like, I got Freddie Stroma.
So satisfying.
Freddie Stroma is, god damn it, he's good in this show. He's so good. Let me get caught up. Follow the left, and I'm going to catch up. I swear to God. He says, I'm calling it that Rick Flag Jr. is going to be the person to get them all out of custody. Also curious where Judo Master is, since he doesn't show up in the episode.
Yeah,
same.
I was gonna talk about that. Like, he went into the portal, and then we don't know what happened to him.
Yeah,
but I don't think he's doing really well, because like we did see what happened to Leora when she went on a walk, and I don't think he's gonna fare any better.
But the difference between the two of them, the difference between Judo Master and Adebayo is he'd have killed the shit out of like so many people. I honestly don't think he was caught, because there's no indication of that from Chris. I think he's skulking around somewhere. I think Judo Master seems like he clocked the situation. I feel like he clocked the situation. He's just sort of like, he's skulking around. But I think if Harcourt looked around and was like, where the fuck are the black people? I'm pretty sure Judo Master was like, oh, hell no. He's a person of color that lives in a white world. He knows better than that. You and I, you remember we talked about the first episode. Remember I was like, it took me no time at all. I was like, oh, I saw it.
I think it was like the first time they went outside. Yeah.
Yeah, and they saw the people. I was like, what the fuck?
In the house, you just have his father and his brother, and That's okay.
That was
Obviously,
our
they liked.
that was the
But
very
then,
first red flag, and I was like, I don't
yeah, his father
I don't believe
is a
that.
hero.
Yeah, first of all,
Mm.
I don't believe
But
that Augie Smith.
then they go outside, and all you see is white people. And if you know, you know.
And I could understand
You
that
just see
there
it.
are certain places where yeah, you could walk 5 miles and not see another person of color. It wasn't just that. It was like they don't even have black people working in like they don't have any person of color working at a store. They don't have. I'm like, what's okay? At some point, one of us gonna show up. Like at some point, that's gonna no. It's just like
I knew
okay,
that was not going to happen unless they travel, you know, from another
yeah.
dimension.
It was anyway. I'm let's see what else he says. Would be cool if alternate Adrian helps our agent to kind of learn not to rely on completely on Peacemaker and learn to be his own guy a bit more. Agreed. Um, I think this. I think seeing Chris from a different perspective, and mind you, the one we know is not the same. Like, remember in the first season, he was just like, he basically was like, I'm not racist. Like, and another guy's like,
Mm.
you kill a lot of brown people actually. And he's like, I'll try to be less racist about who I kill. It's because again, he's blink. That's the thing is, I think the writing of this season, and I don't know how intentional James Gunn is about this. I feel like this is very intentional, but you know, who knows? He's trying to give an anti-racist message in a way that's digestible by some people who are not as you know they wouldn't take the oh racism bad explicit thing. He has to kind of show them, and so that his message has been that Chris Smith is casually racist, and he's better now, obviously. Like you would say, if he really was a white
He has a
supremacist,
black friend.
yeah, he has the one black friend, right? But I think it's pretty clear that it's a casual like it's just an upbringing thing. Like it's the built-in societal things times 10 because of who his dad is and who he grew up around. But he's never I think when he actually examines these biases, he's like what the fuck is wrong with me? And but he doesn't he has to have to be pointed out first. Like the fact that guy had to point it out, he's like, you know what? All right, I'll be try to be better. I'm not trying to do that, but you know you got a point. I'll be better. And I think that's what James Gunn is kind of trying to say is like, look, nobody said you consciously said, hey, there shouldn't be a black president, or there shouldn't be you know a woman in charge of men. No one said that. You examined this thought and said, you know what, that's the way I'm gonna think. Rather, you're indoctrinated into this, and coming out of that indoctrination is hard. There's going to be inbuilt biases, but you have to be able to be willing to look at them when they're pointed out and try to dial it back. And I think that Chris is there, right? And some people like Vigilante, they've already worked their way out of it. They don't buy the bullshit. And that's what the Sons of Liberty are. They don't buy the bullshit. And Chris is so enamored by the trappings of being an alpha, you know, being the top dog, that he's allowing himself to ignore all of the clear signs that this is a sick society, that he's only benefiting because of who and what he looks like. So, yeah. Let's see one before we get back to this. Follow of the 11 said, I think Judah Master maybe got chased at some point, like Adebayo, and probably hiding out somewhere. I agree. Or either that or like he's doing his, you know, he's doing a ninja thing. He just nobody sees him. He says, do you guys think Chris will be forced to take out his brother and dad again? Ooh,
I
that's
don't
a
think so.
That's a good question.
I mean, I think that they probably will escape that world, but I don't think that they will get to change it. Although, if they do deal with the Sons of Liberty, then yeah, they'll have to stay and help take down whatever it is.
I think, yeah, they probably do, but also Overman showing up is not. I think if we've seen Lex Luthor, there's no reason why we wouldn't see Nazi Superman. or Nazi Green Lantern or what, you know what I'm saying? If they even have Green Lanterns like, well,
Probably gonna be
because
Guy Gardner
I
again.
don't like. Would they even have not a Green Lantern even be on Earth? Would they allow that? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, why would the
It's a
Green
good question.
Lantern be?
Yeah. I want to shout out again. I said it earlier. Jennifer Holland. In that interrogation room scene with John Cena. This is the one that James Gunn was talking about. Fucking amazing. I like. I mean, cool stuff is happening in the episode. The whole, Adebayo realizing she's in, like, Get Out and running away. That's great. I really quite enjoyed it. Even though I was like, God
Did
damn it.
not.
Well, I
Was it
didn't.
just scared her?
Well, the thing is that they played it for laughs, but like it actually is a truly terrifying thing. There have been people killed, not 60 years ago, but recently, for shit like that, right? For just being black in the wrong place at the wrong time. But that was good. Economos and dealing with Augie, cool. The whole, what was it? The bad selfie thing, cool. But that scene in the room between Real Harcourt and Chris, like, Jennifer Holland was acting her ass off. I don't know what she did to make that work, but like there's a point in that scene she's near tears. Like she does the the wet eye thing while she's kind of like bitching, not only say bitching, that's not a fair assessment. She's chewing him out over what he did and for his misperception of things and his selfishness and he's like, I'm in love with you. She's like, I know. And he's like, and rather than saying it back, she's giving him all the reasons why he shouldn't love her because of her shortcomings and her inability to deal with emotion and repression and so forth and so on. And in that moment, she's as close to letting her real emotions out as possible. She wants to cry, right? She's so there. And then you see her do this thing where she looks up and you can feel it. She back in, right? And in that moment, her tears stop. Her almost crying stops. And she recenters and she doesn't allow herself to let it out. And I was like, well, fuck, that's a hell of a bit of acting. Like, you literally see the moment come over her face where she decides, absolutely not, I can't let this out. And she stops it right then and there and redirects and deflects and whatever and moves it away from where it's too dangerous over here. I'm going to feel real emotions and I can't let anybody see me vulnerable. Let's go somewhere else. It's beautiful. I loved it. I love that scene so much. Anyway, sorry. Mm-hmm. I got lots to say. This is a great episode. It's so good.
It is.
We could go on. Let's see. Follow 11 says, I'm also curious who else could be in the Sons of Liberty. Like, what other heroes could be part of it? Hawk Girl, since she's a person of color.
I don't think that's there. Like, there are heroes of color now.
Well, the thing is, I think certain heroes don't exist. I don't think Mr. Terrific exists because how would he be Mr. Terrific?
He's really hard to be terrific in that world.
Yeah, there are strong indications, and this is from when Keith was like, a black, one has escaped, right? And you see all these people running out of their houses, like in what do they call Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Like that, they're doing like that. Like one, it's not because they know she's not supposed to be there. I think they still have plantations, or if not, like maybe they. I mean, it could be something stupid like concentration camps, but I think it's more likely they rounded up all of the after the Nazis won, they rounded up all black people and put them back on plantations and reinstituted slavery. So, there would be no Mr. Terrific. Right? There that wouldn't exist. Some of the characters of color that weren't like explicitly too powerful to fuck with, they wouldn't be there. So I don't know. We're not sure about that. I don't think there's a Green Lantern on this Nazi Earth, though. I mean, there might be, but the Green Lantern ring is very specific about who it brings in, and I don't think being a Nazi works. um, says Jess Guy Gardner is a German officer outfit, but keep the terrible haircut and still have him getting mocked for it. I mean, yeah, but again, I don't think I just feel like Green Lantern, the ring wouldn't come to a person. It's kind of the way that I don't think that there's a Nazi Thor. I don't think a Nazi Thor exists because Mjolnir wouldn't be able to be wielded by a Thor like that. I don't. Well, who knows? It's up to James Gunn. I think we're going to see, but I think he's going to keep the number of superheroes to a minimum in this show, and really focus more on the top trio versus the 11th Street kids. But we'll see. So anyway, any more thoughts before we move on to the next one?
I don't know. I've just remembered the recent crossover between Marvel and DC where Rocket was an intern for the Green Lanterns. Yeah.
Oh man, that would be Rocket with a. Okay, that's actually scary. Rocket with the Green Lantern ring. You think because Kyle Rayner is.
And I think they did an exchange problem, and I think they sent Hal Jordan with the Guardians of the Galaxy and Rocket with
how the fuck
Green
would that
Lantern.
work? There's no way Star-Lord and
Well, it did
and
not.
Hal Jordan. There's no way Hal Jordan and Star-Lord get along. That's no fucking way. And
no one can get along with Star-Lord. He's annoying.
Well, I mean, Hal Jordan's a dick too. So, but if you Rocket with the Green Lantern ring, because he's like
he's gonna create the biggest gun ever.
Well, you know how Kyle Rayner is considered the most creative Lantern because he's an artist. Like I feel like the same deal with Rocket, but either way, that's a discussion for another time. Great episode. Episode 7 is going to be
awesome episode.
Episode 7 is going to be ridiculous. I can't wait. We'll talk about it again.
How many episodes are we getting?
8. So 7 and 8 are the last ones. So yeah, the penultimate episode is next week. We are going to talk about it then. So let's talk about now Gen V episode 4. My God. That like I don't know why I keep being surprised that they just they raise the level each week. I should not doubt that that's going to be the case. This is this is a great episode. Where in the previous episode, I wanted to reach through the screen and kind of strangle Jordan. Be like, what? Like, look, you got good information. Maybe sit on it. Think about how to use it. No, I'm just gonna get up here and say what I got to say.
You know what? Might be stupid, but don't forget that these are kids.
Yeah. Yep. It was a miscalculation that leeds to a confrontation.
That's sounds very right.
Yeah.
Sounds like something a kid would do.
Like we're in the era of I'm gonna speak my truth, which is something that Kate actually says later on when she lies about what Jordan had to say. I really enjoy, and also it I don't want to say it bugs me, but I'm just like it also makes me a bit sick to my stomach how much of the words, as I said before, these are the words of our world, but just put soups into it, right? So it also sickens me a little bit how much of the language of our modern culture is present in this explicitly terrible iteration of like the world. So like, because I really genuinely and generally don't like the phrase "speak your truth," because to me that's conflating two things: your experience versus what's objectively true. Your experience and what's those aren't the same. We know that for sure because people's recollection and experience isn't necessarily reflective, or their understanding of it isn't necessarily reflective of what actually is happening. So when that Kate said that, I was like, it's interesting that they said that she says it when she's straight up lying. And so it kind of confirms some shit I think about that phrase. But what the point is, as a result of her bad idea about disclosing the truth, now she's, essentially what they would call a race traitor, and everyone hates her, or I'm sorry, hates them because it's Jordan. And they're gonna, now she has to be punished. She has to be publicly punished for the transgression of speaking against the soup regime, essentially, in the form of her, of their girlfriend, Marie, having to beat the shit out of them in front of everybody. And Cypher is pulling all the strings here. Which is,
literally.
Yeah, we finally find out what Cypher's power is. We find out that it's not necessarily that Compound V is not necessarily part of it, because Marie can detect that. So now we have a mystery about where the fuck are these powers coming from. But basically, yes, Puppet Master. That's pretty much what you would call his power. We also get some fun stuff with what's her name, Emma, and her little crew of, I want to say allies. How do I call
Rebels?
them? They're turning from they're going from being liberals to leftists, I guess you could call it. Is that to radical leftists? They're instead of talking, flyers and bounce houses at protests, they're actually doing shit. And there was a very fun bit involving pubic hair. I was like, when they introduced Allie's superpower, I was like, what the fuck will that ever be useful? And I was like, oh, you're like Medusa, but like in a weird way. You're like Medusa from Marvel Comics, but in a very weird way. So I was like, okay, dope.
I mean, Medusa is in a weird way, so
yeah, but I mean,
weird.
But no one ever thought, in all the years that we've known about Medusa, has anyone thought, I wonder if her pubic hair does that too? Like, it's
nobody wondered that.
Nobody. But now I wonder. I'm curious. And anyway, also I think Allie's power is a bit of a joke. It's a bit of a joke aimed at kind of like hippie hipster, white kids on college campuses. It's a bit of a joke aimed at them. Which is, if I don't know, do you understand the joke that's being aimed at the hippies?
I mean, yeah. Just
I'm just
kidding. I don't necessarily think that it's very funny, but that's kind of.
I don't know if y'all have hippies the way we have hippies in America. So
not the same. But we know enough about your hippies.
Yeah, it's so. That's all. Like, I think that, look, it's just moving the story forward. Hamish Linklater is killing it. I think he's fucking amazing as Cypher. And also they introduce some lore for Marie that explains some things about, like, yeah, she's Jean Grey at this point. Remember when Jean Grey first was doing, or even Invisible Woman, barely scratching the surface of her powers. And now Cypher's like, no, you've gotten all these mental inhibitions that
you can kill Elon.
Yeah, you've got all these mental inhibitions that are keeping you from doing the most. But I also think there's an indication that some other shit's going on too. I think Cypher's, there's some shit going on that Cypher's not really disclosing, and that I don't think they're able to see just yet. But I have a feeling. Anyway. How do you feel about this episode? What's your feeling about where this is going?
This is the hardest question probably for me, because I don't know where this is going. I have no idea. I know that it's probably going to be like, if we get more seasons, then there's going to be a bigger mess.
Yeah.
And before it gets good, it gets really, really bad. So I don't know, but I do. Yeah, you were right when you said that, like, it's like Jean Grey or Sue Storm Marie with her power. It's kind of interesting what she's gonna do with that, because I mean she already gets the feel for it and like blows up. What are those goats? I think.
Yeah,
Right?
poor
Mhm.
Elon. I like
I
that.
mean,
I like that Cypher was like, we named them after. It was like, what if I
yeah,
kill?
after
What if I
assholes,
blow it
yeah.
up? He's like, that's why we name them after assholes. I was like,
But the only
Elon Musk
question
kept.
like I have is, how is he even? How does he even exist in that world?
Yeah, well, but I think I had said on thread, and I don't mind this. It's not even a spoiler. This is my speculation. At first I was like, well, I think Cypher is Thomas Godolkin, the guy, because we saw. Remember they showed like like that flashback to him,
Yeah, the photo.
and like coming up
Oh,
on it.
the
I think it was episode 2 or 3, and we saw like he basically something happened to him where he inhaled a lot of compound V fumes, and I think that's probably him in that little hyperbaric chamber. I think that's probably him. But was he burned up though? That's the thing, is like we didn't see him being burned up, but we didn't see the result of that fire either. So maybe he was, or maybe Cypher is actually. I think possibly Cypher is actually. Oh, actually, I figured it out. This is my prediction. I'm gonna call it right now. I just got this together. Cypher's power is he's a puppet master, right? That's his power.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Thomas Godolkin is the guy in the hyperbaric chamber, and that Cypher is just a guy, is just a human that he is controlling, and that, in fact, Godolkin's power is that he's the puppet master. Cypher is his human puppet, but he's also able to use him as, like, if you can think of it as a tether. He's tethered to Cypher, the guy that's Cypher, but from Cypher he can send out his little puppet power. That's why.
Didn't he say that it's his father in that chamber?
He said it's his father, but remember, the person that's talking is Cypher. Remember when he controlled Jordan, he talked through Jordan to Marie, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think what's happening is that Cypher is a regular guy, whoever his real name is a regular man that Godolkin is controlling remotely, because there's no indication that there's a distance that he can't be, and that using this regular person, he's able to then transfer his puppet power. And that's why Marie said he's a regular person, because he is. The person that's connected to him is actually the one that has compound V in it. There we go. Calling it.
Yeah.
Y'all let me know.
Complicated, but it's comic booky.
It's essentially, if you've ever seen Naruto, there's a character in there. What the fuck is his name? But he's a puppeteer, and he can do that. He is in a puppet, but he's controlling other puppets through the puppet, and
Puppet Master could never.
Yeah, it's. I think that's true. I think that this makes the most sense, and this is also why remember they were like, oh, I saw y'all in there. I saw y'all coming to my, coming. That's my dad. It wasn't
he was nowhere near them.
It wasn't a camera. The guy, remember, he opened his eyes and saw Jordan and Kate. It wasn't a camera. He literally saw them, and that's how he knew. Right? Makes sense to me. How
makes sense.
So, I mean, I think there's a bit more to. I like that. Jordan and Marie they're getting much closer as a couple. That's cool. I for whatever reason, I think it's because Emma's just my favorite character in the show so far. I love that she's got her little her hot boy love interest.
No.
But her hot boy interest, I'm like, okay, I hope he doesn't sell her out.
He probably evil.
Yeah, I mean, and they're trying to redeem Kate. We didn't see Sam this episode, so but Cypher, I'm that guy. I'm ready to see more of this. Let's see what's up with Nazi. What is up with Nazis this week? What's happening?
Oh, I wonder. I
Uh,
don't know.
Man,
What could that be?
these shows were written.
Look outside.
These shows were written like a year ago. these they were written a
Oh,
year
we've
ago.
already discussed it.
I
We've
feel
already discussed it. It's all it
yeah.
has all happened before. It will all happen
Yeah,
again.
this I think last year they were like, yeah, they no, we ain't gonna be sensible. We're definitely gonna have Nazis again in real life. Oh, it's crazy. Anyway, great episode. Looking forward to the next episode. So, let me. That brings us to we got to
Also
talk about it. Brains. That's what they. I feel like they were saying they should have been saying that, but they missed an opportunity to.
They did not. Yeah, they were busy.
Yeah, they're this is all about Marvel Zombies. They dropped all 4 of the episodes. My understanding is that it was originally envisioned as a movie, but because they wanted Spider-Man in it, they had to turn it into a TV series. I'm not bad about it. I don't think that this should have been week to week because of that.
No.
This would not have worked week to week. I don't think. Um, because it wasn't originally planned to be like a traditional TV show, so I don't think it would have worked. But that being said, 4 cohesive episodes telling a story in the zombie fashion. And if you know anything about zombie anything media, boy is it relentlessly bleak. It is, but that I mean, but all in the style of the MCU. So there's plenty of humor, and also I think they picked the right characters for this show.
Absolutely.
It's because I don't think this works with Bucky Barnes in it. I don't think this works with more serious characters. You know, no Sam Wilson. They're too serious. This wouldn't. I don't think this works because God dang it, the word.
They're too serious, and they are also heroic enough to get beaten.
They definitely get taken out immediately. Yeah. So, in some ways, you might say, "Man, we got the B team." I don't think that that's true because we get Kamala Khan. She is basically the POV character for the whole show, but you get characters that from phase 4 and 5 that we've wanted to see more of, more Riri, more Kate, Riri, Kate Bishop, Katie and Shang-Chi, Jimmy Woo is in this very prominently, in fact. Zemo is in this. Like there's a lot of
Death Dealer.
Yeah, Death Dealer was going in, but so we watched it's like a bunch of ingredients from various shows. Movies, like they make a new, they're making a new gumbo from characters that didn't really get a lot of shine because they're where they are in the MCU process.
and they didn't get time together.
Yeah. So. And they've never seen each, but circumstances bring them together. It's all quite what I can't just say it. This is great. Marvel Zombies is so fucking good. It's everything I think an MCU fan would and should like. And also it's going to be skipped over by a lot of people because it's animation. And I hate that because it's so good. And I got more thoughts. I want to hear how did this hit you?
This was so amazing. I mean, unexpectedly amazing because I didn't expect much from this show. Just in general, I loved the episode that we had in What If, but I didn't think that this show could work so well. And I specifically liked that it was 4 episodes and they were dropped on the same day because we got it did feel like a movie, but it was got up in all the perfect places because every time we got a new episode, we got kind of a new storyline and new heroes introduced, and then got back to the original heroes and mashed them all together. It kind of worked amazingly. The story was very, very coherent, very well put together, and I did love the ending. I don't know. I'm a big fan of this controversial endings where things are not necessarily go good. And like, I don't know. I loved it so much.
Yeah, it's
So
that
unexpectedly good.
ending. That ending annoyed the hell out of me. Uh,
It was kind of like Ironheart ending.
yeah, but the problem I have with both of those endings is like it's very much in question whether or not we'll get a follow up. Like I don't mind that you saying,
Yeah.
oh, I don't
That
mind you
but
saying like, oh, there's more story, come back. I gotta have some place to come back to. That's my only problem with it. Like the show, that's
I
the
mean, with Ironheart,
yeah,
yes, I agree, but with Marvel Zombies, not necessarily because it's not the mainstream
yeah,
universe, and we don't need to find out what happened there. It
yeah.
just it is what it is. It looks like it's terrible, but working. I don't know.
It
It's just kind of like a statement.
there's and they say we could get more. The great thing is it's animation, so at some point we could get more. It may be a
Yeah.
2 or 3 years down the line. Um, but beyond that, yeah, like it's a mash. Like show is a bit of a mashup of just all sorts of elements. Everyone and every character is true to our understanding of them. Like Zemo is exactly like it is. It's such a good characterization of Zemo that even when he gets taken out, I'm like, yeah, of course that'll be the last thing you say before before you die. They also it's wish fulfillment too. The great thing about What If, I know some people don't love What If, but my favorite thing about it is, well, like let's see these things that didn't happen but would be cool if they happened. Zombie Namor is fucking
Oh,
what a
awesome.
great fucking idea.
Awesome. Terrifying.
Yes.
Very annoying.
Uh,
Still has no game.
but I like zombie Atlanteans. Crazy, right? The whole idea of the Valley of the Fallen Gods. And when you find like,
Oh, that was
because
so
I
good.
remember in the trailer, I was like, oh shit, is Adam Warlock here? No, but it answered a question. Where the fuck are the Eternals? Well, we know in one Eternal where we find out how strong is Icarus. He's fucking strong. Like he's stupid strong. Like he's so strong. And I'm not saying Zombie
There
Carol.
is.
I'm not saying Zombie Carol is as strong
Mhm.
as mainline like non-zombie Carol. I'm not sure if that's true, but she's so strong that her and Icarus can never kill each other, right? They'll neither of them will ever kill each other. Carol can't die, and she can't get tired, and she's powered by an Infinity Stone. Icarus is powered by an Eternal, and he'll never get tired because he's not biological. So they'll never stop fighting. And I was like, who thought of this? I literally want to find out who said, what if what if these two fought and could never stop fighting? And I'm like, that was genius. To me, that's fucking genius. That's a beautiful because now they are no longer two sentient beings having a clash. They are just a natural phenomenon. When you go through that part of the country, fucking lay low. Because they're a they're a tornado. They will rip you up. Right? And then they'll get back to fighting each other. That's crazy. What a good idea.
Yeah. Uh, and like speaking of Zombie Namor, you could just put some, I don't know, a Sue Storm or some blonde somewhere and he'll get distracted. Don't worry about that.
What was
He's
wild is
single-minded like that.
he
Uh it yeah.
well, I was just saying like a lot of the a lot of the cool stuff like they really answer some questions about power levels and shit in this like how strong is Scarlet Witch actually? Goddamn ridiculously. Like really crazy strong. Zombie Wanda Maximoff is frightening because even though she's a zombie, her powers are so good that she essentially warps reality so that it doesn't work on her the same way. She's a zombie, but it doesn't work on her the same way, right? and she can control other zombies because of her powers. And so I'm just like, this whole shit is fucking wild. Like, and she's so strong. She's so strong that even Thor, remember, Thor powered up at the end of Infinity War, can't take her out. And that, I'm like, good God, she is ridiculously powerful. It's
Yeah, I did not buy her illusions though.
yeah. I think
Not for a second.
those of us who have seen, and you can tell whoever wrote this, and especially the people that animated it, they saw Multiverse of Madness when they had seen it, or they knew about Multiverse of Madness before. But you can also, because of the way, I think this may have been conceived just before Multiverse of Madness, but or a little bit after, because it's reflective of her then. But this is her pre Darkhold, right? So she's actually not as strong as she could have been. I think if she had had the Darkhold by then, this was a wrap. There's no way that this fucking works, like, at all. But she doesn't have the Darkhold, so. And somebody actually.
I mean, on the other side, we have a Hulk, with the power of Infinity Stones.
Yeah, and so now, I want to say, somebody pointed out to me, they were like, "Well, the Darkhold was destroyed in all dimensions." This is true, but not at the time that this was happening. Because if you think about this whole storyline started on the day of, or around the day of, the Battle of Wakanda, right? Which was in 2018.
Mm.
Then 5 years go by, right? So you're talking about 2023. All that stuff that happened in Multiverse of Madness happened after 2023, canonically. Because if you think about it, all of that's, 5-year jump in game, right? Then immediately after Endgame, the whole thing with WandaVision happens, right? So in 2023, all that stuff in Westview happened, right? Then Multiverse of Madness happens after that. So she could have had the Darkhold. The zombie Wanda could have had the Darkhold at some point. But because all the stuff in Westview didn't happen, she didn't meet Agatha Harkness, so forth and so on, she's not powered by the Darkhold. But it could have happened. I'm just saying. So to that person, I forget who you are, that responded to me, nice try. I out-nerded you.
Okay, but there are so many cool moments though in the show in general, and so many character moments, like interesting character moments, like Shang-Chi sharing the rings with Katie.
Dope.
That, yeah. And I mean, I don't know, are we gonna see that in the movies or not? How is this gonna go? It's just really interesting. Then God, them flirting with Yelena, I think,
which was gonna go which is gonna go nowhere. She is notoriously ace, but
well, I don't know, not in there apparently.
It was an interesting exchange, but yes. And Katie, you know what? I don't know why y'all done spent 5 years together. Y'all are really friend zone. That's wild. Like, okay, I guess do your thing.
I mean, some people are like that. Don't judge. So there are just like a ridiculous amount of tiny character moments. Like I said, very cool. And
yeah,
I don't know. I just want to see all those characters. What?
You haven't mentioned Blade Knight.
Oh my God! I skipped my mind. Right?
My guy.
I mean, say what you want. He did not call himself Blade Knight, and I'm gonna call him Moonblade because I like it better. Sounds better. But him complaining, not complaining, but first of all, somebody knows. I think you said it, or somebody else on Thread said it, that he kept his cool throughout this whole thing, and it's no surprise because God is talking to him all the time. So
that reminds me.
Yeah.
Remember the scene where they're at New Asgard and Valkyrie's just like talking to Khonshu? I love that they act. First of all, again, they saw Moon Knight they because remember in Moon Knight, that's the way Khonshu could show up, right? So that they
Yeah.
the conception of Khonshu is just out of Moon Knight, the TV show. But she's sitting there talking, and they're like, "Who's she talking to?" She's clearly talking to a god, but they can't see it. I love that. That's beautiful. There and also
But like, can Consuman go to space?
no, they won't let him out.
Why not?
What
He should be able to. Should be
what
able to. Like,
what's pretty
he should be able to reach the moon.
What I think what's pretty cool about it is I think we sort of get like an understanding of the pantheons and how they work, because the Asgardians are actual, gods in the sense of like celestial beings, because he recognizes her and she recognizes him. He's a real god, right? But also that just because you're a god doesn't mean like the Nova Corps can't be like, fuck that, we'll kill you. We will actually for real kill you. And so that's
disintegrate you.
Yeah, completely. That was very cool. Also, the Nova Corps continue to suck in the MCU. God damn it, that piss. I'm like, I'm so annoyed at how much the Nova Corps suck in the MCU. Like,
you know what?
And my other
it's very realistic. It's very realistic.
Well, can I say one thing?
Yeah.
How do they exist? Remember in Infinity War? What happened to the fucking Nova Corps before Thanos ever really got anywhere? Because remember, the Guardians, they gave up that Infinity Stone and to let the Nova Corps hold it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he went and fucking destroyed the Nova Corps to get that Infinity Stone. And yet here, in this reality, where Thanos is on the Earth looking for the Mind Stone, he has all of the other stones. He just needs the Mind Stone. Which, by the way, we got to talk about Black Panther. But he just needs the Mind Stone. Where the fuck did he get it from? And how is the Nova Corps able to quarantine Earth if he got the Mind Stone from? So
we don't technically know that.
That any of the Guardians stuff happened. It did happen.
The Guardians were there even.
You know what happened, right? Because Thor and Rocket and Groot showed up in Wakanda to fight zombie Thor.
Okay, that's fair.
To fight zombie Thanos.
So they gave it up.
I have found it. See, this is a nerdy brain. I was just like, how the fuck is the Nova Corps quarantining Earth if they got destroyed? If they got destroyed for Thanos to get his stone.
Honestly, I think they've been there since the moment they gave up the stone.
But
they just thought, if Thanos is going there, fuck them. We're gonna quarantine them and kill anyone who tries to come through.
Now that's
and then just all the zombie stuff happened.
But again, if they were quarantining Earth, how did Thanos get in there?
They let him.
He had the space stone. I guess he could have probably gone. But if they were quarantining,
I don't know.
If they were quarantining Earth, I don't think they were. But how did Thor get there through the Bifrost?
Through the Bifrost.
No, look, let's stop asking questions. That's what you should say. Stop asking questions. You're making too much sense.
The point is, they quarantined Earth for real. Yeah, they weren't letting anyone out, and that just seems so real. That just seems like something the UN would do, or like any other country would do.
It's the
if your country is in shit, if it's burning, they're gonna just close the doors and let you kill each other.
Yeah, it's a Milky Way ghetto,
Yep. Deathbird was right. I need a T-shirt that says that.
I would love if somebody made a Deathbird was right T-shirt. I would wear it. There's so much. Look, it's like all zombie movies. The cast gets whittled down slowly over the course of the time. No one is safe. Not even the coolest person on the whole roster. But cool shit happens. We have we also meet the coolest version of Hulk that's ever existed. fight me. There's no other Hulk that's cooler than Infinity Hulk. Every other version of him is cool. Well, not all of them, but every other version of him is cool. But Infinity Hulk is that dude. And like most Hulks, does not know what the fuck to do with the immense power he has. I'm sitting up here like, Hulk, dude, my guy, you got the Infinity Stones powering you, and you're just like, let me just use your mind.
He's sitting and clapping.
It was wild that
he's like the worst Luna healers on the Marvel Rivals.
It's wild that he lost a fight. That's crazy. I don't care how. Look, I don't give a fuck how strong Wanda is. Zombie Wanda is. No fucking way. And of course that ending with look, Kamala Khan, she's in a tough spot. I don't blame her. I don't blame her for what she did. And I love Kamala Khan, and I will hear no slander against her. So, but that wasn't. I get it. You're no good choices. So what do you do? I need the sequel. Come on, y'all, don't make me wait.
It's not just no good choices. I think there is like a bigger thing that kind of I don't know, when you watch any kind of zombie apocalypse sort of thing, or anything that's about an apocalypse in general, at some point you get so tired. I mean, I can imagine it. Tired of like living like this and missing all the things that you used to have, and it's just it makes sense to give up, especially when what Wanda's offering, what aside from a few visions of zombies, it's pretty much the same world you used to have. So yeah, it's a fair choice. I understand why a hero would give up under these circumstances.
My question is, how many humans are still around? So obviously, Riri didn't get killed like we thought because she died off screen, so of course she didn't actually die. How many humans are still around? I think probably what's happening is that Wanda is holding. Excuse me, is holding. I don't think she zombified Kamala. I think instead, because I think if she zombified Kamala, she can't use her powers to do what she needs to do. I think instead she's keeping her in kind of like an illusion world, kind of like in Westview. So maybe Westview for the entire world. Because in fact, I think I'm probably right about that. Remember, Riri was like, I hacked the signal. That's very similar to how on WandaVision, how they were hacking the signal. They were trying to get through the signal. So maybe this is a worldwide one, or at least I'll also remember Westview, New Jersey, and is where that happened. And she's from New Jersey, right? So this is probably a WandaVision situation where Scarlet Witch is basically using her reality manipulation to keep Kamala in a fantasy world where it's still zombies around. She's keeping her in a fantasy world in order to use her power. And Riri is on the outside of that bubble and trying to get in and break her out of the basically the way that Monica was trying to get through and communicate with Wanda when she was in Westview. I think that's what's going on. We'll see in 5 or 6 years, maybe. I don't know.
I can.
Y'all go watch this show. Run them numbers up because I need more of this. This some dummy is gonna be like, Marvel is so back. Shut the hell up. They ain't never left. They're on fire. More of this Marvel animation. Take some swings. Take some big swings. We need this. We're getting 2, maybe 3 Marvel like live action things a year, maybe. Use some money and make some shit like this. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I think that's all of our thoughts on this. Oh, I forgot to mention Black Panther going out like a G.
Yeah.
Like a boss. I feel like Bass was like, when that final bit where he, was fighting zombie Thanos, I feel like Bass was like, all right, I'm gonna power you up because we gotta take this fool out. and you know, go out like a boss. So that was really cool.
Much better God than Concha.
Real talk. Much better than the ones in the Ultimate Universe too. Those two suck.
Oh,
Anyway,
true.
those are all of our thoughts on Marvel Zombies. That's all of our stuff for this week. Thanks for joining us. What did you guys think about all of this comic book stuff we had this week? It's wild how much content there was this week. So much content. I mean, look, if you felt overwhelmed, I'm with you. It was a lot, but we got through it. What did you guys think about
Starting
it?
to feel like work.
Yeah. Oh man, so hard. So what a hard job.
And we still want more.
Yeah, we do. Not enough. That's what I say. But what do you guys think about this? What do you think about what we had to say? Get down to the comment section and leave your thoughts there. Of course, you can always hit us up. supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com. Blurred_force1 on Instagram and Threads. Super_not_funnyshow on TikTok. But probably not for long because it's going to become a right-wing hellscape. So, but whatever. You know. Yeah, let us know what you're thinking. And while you're doing that, you know what to do. Get down there, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. All that good stuff helps to grow this channel, helps more people to see this podcast and all the other things we do on Blurred Force 1. And of course, I can't do this by myself. I need my good friend Polly to, you know, chime in about all of this stuff. Like this is, can you imagine having to listen to me, just me talk about this? Ugh. Nobody wants that. So anyway, Polly, where can they reach you on social media?
As always, ska_mixed on Threads, on Instagram, and on Tumblr.
Yeah, go check out her, you know, many posts about
anti-read propaganda.
Yeah,
And please, for God's sake, stop writing under every anti-read post. Stop writing Doom. I know it's you. I'm not Doom. I do respect his game, but I'm not Doom.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
I wish I was that better.
Well, you know, maybe not Doom, but you could always, you know, you could become a Doom bot.
I know somebody called me Zemo a few days ago.
Oh, how dare they? No, nobody wants to be Zemo. If you could be in a world of Zemos, be a Doom. That's all I'm saying.
Zemo does have class, though.
Yeah, I mean, but he's Nazi though. Like, no thanks.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you know, only good Nazi. He's still alive. He's still running around. He'll be all right. Anyway, thanks for joining us. This has been episode 199 of the Supercast. Join us next week. 200 episodes. I feel like we'll do something special. I got to think about what the hell it's going to be, but 200 episodes is crazy. I can't believe we reached that milestone, but thanks for joining us. It should be fun next week. We got the Superhero September. Is it going to be officially over? Yeah, it's officially over on Tuesday, so we'll celebrate. You know, what's another good word? I don't know. I would say occult October, but there's nothing occult about the superhero stuff. Superhero October, whatever. We'll talk about all of the stuff that's
Supertober?
coming. Yeah, where we review the new Peacemaker, new Gen V final episode of season 1 of the Comic Shop. Should be a good time. So until then, I've been Mo, your commentator extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by my good friend Polly, and we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.